Good afternoon, Pankhurst class. This is your Friday English lesson. It's fantastic to see you this morning on the live session, and so many of you have written some fantastic plans for your non-chronological report. So today we're going to be writing up those plans. So if you haven't already finished writing up your plan, and you got right up to the section that said, did you know, right at the bottom, then I'd like you just to pause the video and go and finish your plan first. If you need to watch yesterday's lesson again, which is where I finished my last few paragraphs, and that's absolutely fine, but you won't be able to get this part finished and completed until you finish your plan first. So can you go and finish that off first, please? If you have done that, fantastic. You're going to need your plan with you today, and you're going to need a new piece of paper, hopefully lined if you have any, a pencil and a ruler. If you haven't got a ruler, you need something with a nice straight edge, because we're going to use that today when we're underlining our subheadings. So I'm just going to go through the features of what a non-chronological report is going to have, and I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing today. So when your learning objective for today is, can I write a non-chronological report for my invention? In this lesson, you're going to be using your plan to help you write up your non-chronological report about your invention that we designed in DT. So if you can remember what my invention was, mine was a massaging mattress. Yours is going to be about what your invention was. I've seen some fantastic ones. I've seen ones with pens that don't run out. I've seen machines that help people do their learning. I've seen cooking robots. I've seen pens that have a lever that doesn't need batteries. I've seen lots of different inventions, flying cars, flying motorbikes, some really good ideas. So we're going to use those plans today to help. And like I said, you need to have your plan completed before you do today's lesson. So in your non-chronological report, this is what you have to include. We need to include your heading and your subheadings, an introductory paragraph, paragraphs about different parts of the subject, factual language. It needs to be written in third person, technical vocabulary, subordinate and relative clauses to add more information about the object, formal writing, past tense, which means it's already happened, and pictures of the object. So you can always use this as a checklist to check your work at the end. You can go through it. Now, when you're writing this up in Neat today, I want it to be as independent as possible. That means no adult to help you. Your plan should have already been written. So when I show you now how to convert those notes into sentences, I'd like you to try and write this as well as you can by yourself. If you need a few helps with some spelling, that's okay. I really want to see what you can do by yourself today. So what's going to happen is I'm going to show you how to use your plan to turn it into a non-chronological report in full sentences. I will also show you exactly how to lay it out. So watch me carefully and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be writing my non-chronological report about the mattress massager, for example, the drawn one here that was drawn in DT. You are doing yours on your invention. Now I'm going to share my screen on the camera that's on my book. And I've got on my book my first two paragraphs that are planned. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to convert those notes into sentences. I'm not going to do all of my plan written for you, because I think once I've shown you a couple of paragraphs, you can do the rest on your own. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to hopefully try and share my camera. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Now this was my plan for my massaging mattress. And I'm going to read through it again for you just to remind you, and I've got my notes on here as well. So I've got the massaging mattress at the top, and that is my title. And it is written a bit bigger, and it needs to have its capital letters at the start. This is my title. It's underlined with a ruler as well, and it's in the middle of my page. Then I've got my introduction over here. This is my first subheading, also with a capital letter and also underlined with a ruler. And then I've got my bullet points. The electric massaging mattress, invented by Miss Lewis, from a Victorian invention, and the aim was to soothe aches and pains. And I've got my picture, which I've drawn in a box with a ruler. What does it look like? Question mark, and it's underlined again with a ruler as my other subheading. The mattress size, 190 centimetres by 135 centimetres, although can be larger or smaller. There's one of my supports to create subordinate clause there. Thinking of comfort in mind, so there is my interesting sentence opener, soft, cosy, cotton cover and squishy layer of foam. So you can tell these aren't full sentences, this is just my plan that we wrote together. Underneath, another good sentence opener, the layer of foam, round plastic rollers and reliable electric motors. amazingly beautiful round buttons. So I'm now going to turn this into a non-chronological report in full sentences. Now, it's absolutely fine for you to have your plan with you. In fact, I want you to have your plan with you so that you can refer back to it. I'm not expecting you to have remembered all these sentences. I would like you to keep flicking back at it, and I'm going to be doing the same to help. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my actual non-chronological report on my next page. So I'm going to have my piece of paper here. I'm going to try and model it for you as best as I can. So I've got my pencil and I've also got a ruler. Now my book doesn't have a margin, so I'm actually going to draw a margin on my page to help me keep all my work nice and neat. I've got my margin there. Okay, so at the top of my page, I'm going to draw my title. I'm going to write my title, which was The Massaging Mattress. So again, I need to have capital letters, and I'm going to write it as neat as I can in cursive handwriting. And I'm going to use my ruler to underline it. So I'm going to hold my ruler nice and straight, put it on the line that the writing's on, and draw my line there. And it's in the middle of my page. And that's what I like you to do when you're doing yours as well. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my box. This is for my picture to make sure that I've got space for it. So I'm going to draw my box now over here. I'm going to do it 8 lines down. I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to make sure my ruler is nice and straight. I'm going to draw 8 lines down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to do it 8 centimeters across. If you haven't got a ruler, just try to estimate using a straight edge. So my 8 centimeters is there. I'm going to draw my line. I'm going to do it up again. I get to 8 lines. And I'm going to go across. So that's our box for our picture. So when you've got time, I'm not going to draw my mattress again for you now. You can draw your mattress in there as well. Oh, sorry, your invention in there as well. So that was like my one that I did before. Okay, so my first subheading, this is my plan I've got for you. My first subheading was introduction, and I wrote the electric massaging mattress invented by Miss Lewis, Victorian invention, soothes aches and pains. So I'm going to write my subheading first. So up here, I'm going to write introduction. Now I want you to just double check really carefully that you've used your sounds for your spelling of introduction, because a few people spelt it wrong and it is quite a hard word to spell. So use your sounds really carefully. And I'm going to underline it with a ruler. And I've got it right by my margin and it's on the side, introduction. So let's have a look again at my bullet points. So it said the electric massaging mattress invented by Miss Lewis. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to leave a line and then I'm going to write my sentence. I'm going to write the massaging mattress. I'm going to write it with capital letters because that's the name of it. Proper noun. The massaging mattress was invented by Miss Lewis, who adapted, so I changed, an original Victorian, that needs a capital V, it's the name of an era, Victorian invention. Full stop. Now notice I've had to go on to the next line quite frequently. It's quite short lines for here because I've got my box. When I'm writing down here, I'll be able to write the whole way across. The massaging mattress was invented by Miss Lewis, who adapted an original Victorian invention. So I've changed these 3 first bullet points into those sentences. I've added some words to make it into a sentence. Then I've got my next bit, soothes, aches and pains. So I'm going to carry on because it's still the same paragraph. It was invented to soothe, a little squeeze in there, aches and pains that people may have had. Now notice what tense I've written it in. It was invented. Invented, may have had, past tense. Remember, we're writing in our past tense when we're writing our non-chronological report. Okay, that's all the notes from here. And if you'd like to tick them off to remember you've done them, that's fine. That was my plan. And I've done all of those points there. So now I can go on to my next subheading. What does it look like? So I'm going to leave a gap. I'm going to leave one line. I'm going to write my next subheading. What does it look like? I need to have a question mark there because it's a question. I'm going to get my ruler again and I'm going to draw my line nice and straight. I'm going to put my ruler on that line carefully, hold it nice and straight and draw my line. Okay, let's have a look at my bullet points. The mattress size, 190 centimeters by 135 centimeters, although can be larger or smaller. So that's going to be my first sentence. I've got to turn that into a sentence that makes sense. I'm going to write, and then again, I'm going to leave a line and write it here. So I'm going to write I'm going to do capital letters again for massaging mattress. The massaging mattress was, past tense again, 190 centimeters. And you can do multiplied here because that's what you do for measurements when you're looking at different depth, width or length. 135 centimeters, although the massaging mattress was 190 centimeters by 135 centimeters, comma, although it could be larger or smaller depending on the client's, that's the person who's bought it, needs. I think it would look better if I wrote needs of the client. So I'm going to put a line through it. So that's fine for you to do as well. If you realise there's actually something that you wrote that you think you could do a better thing, oh, I apologise. Didn't even have it on the screen, did I? There we go. I put one line through it on there to make sure it's nice and neat. If I've made a mistake, if you make a mistake or if it's something you want to add, that's absolutely fine. So I put a line through it and I'm actually going to change it. Depending on the needs of the client. As long as you put one nice, neat line, that's absolutely fine. Okay, I'm going to just double check that makes sense before I start on my next sentence. The massaging mattress was 190 centimeters by 135 centimeters, although it could be larger or smaller depending on the needs of the client. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to look at my notes again. So I've written that and I've written that. Next sentence. Thinking of comfort in mind, so that's already given me my sentence opener. And then we've written soft, cozy cotton cover and squishy layer of foam. So I'm going to write that now into a sentence. I'm going to carry on here. And again, I'm writing the whole width of the page now because my box is finished and that was up there. So I'm now going to write thinking of comfort in mind The mattress was soft and cozy due to its cotton cover and squishy layer of foam. Now let's double check that to see if we're happy with what we've got so far. Okay, I'm going to read through it to check that I'm happy with it. So it says the massaging mattress was 190 by 135 centimeters, although it could be larger or smaller depending on the needs of the client. Thinking of comfort in mind, the mattress, oh, I'm going to do a comma there. The mattress was soft and cozy due to its, oh, I've done the wrong it's, because this is, it is cotton, which doesn't make sense. So I need to put one line through my apostrophe, and I'm going to join my T and my S together. Cozy due to its cotton cover and squishy layer of foam, full stop. So I've checked through it and I've made those changes. That's absolutely fine. I want you to just double check your sentences before you move on to your next one. Okay, and have a look at my notes again. Remember to keep going back to your plan. I've done that sentence there. Underneath the layer of foam, round plastic rollers and reliable electric motors. So I'm now going to write that down. Underneath my sentence opener that I highlighted in green, I'm going to write thick layer of foam just to make it better. So you can always add some words in if you want to as you're writing it. The plan is just there to give you some guidance. Underneath a thick layer of foam were round, plastic rollers and reliable, I don't like the way I've written that R, so I'm going to put a line through it, and reliable electric motors. Perfect. And then my last sentence in my plan for this paragraph, it says amazingly beautiful round buttons. So I've done that one. So my last note in this paragraph, it says amazingly beautiful round buttons. So I'm going to write amazingly, again, sentence opener that I've highlighted. The mattress was, I'll check that it's focused for you. It's going to hurt your eyes. Decorated with beautiful round buttons. I'm going to add an extra bit here. I'm going to write this would appeal to some clients and would encourage them to buy it. Full stop. Okay, I've done all my notes for my first two paragraphs. Of course, you've also got the other paragraphs to do. For example, what was it for? Did you know? The extra information, you've got those paragraphs as well to do. I'm just going to read through mine just to check it. So I've got my heading at the top, my title. Introduction. The massaging mattress was invented by Miss Lewis, who adapted an original Victorian invention. Full stop. It was invented to soothe aches and pains that people may have had. What does it look like? The massaging mattress was 190 by 135 centimetres, although it could be larger or smaller depending on the needs of the client. Thinking of comfort in mind, the mattress was soft and cosy due to its cotton cover and squishy layer of foam. Underneath the thick layer of foam were round plastic rollers and reliable electric motors. Amazingly, the mattress was decorated with beautiful round buttons. This would appeal to some clients and would encourage them to buy it. Then I would go into my next one. So I would leave a space and I would then write my next subheading here. Now I'm not going to do that because I think you can do this now. You've seen me turn 2 of my paragraphs of notes into full sentences. So you're going to do this with your one. So let's double check what you need to do. You're going to use your plan and you're going to use, following the success criteria of what I've just modelled to you, you're going to write out your non-chronological report, and please make sure this is done as independently as possible. Now I'm going to go back to my list of things you need to include. I'd like you to pause the video on here, because then what you can do at the end of your report writing, you can go through these points and you can tick off all the things that you've included, and hopefully you would have included all of them. I haven't carried on with the rest of the paragraph, so I think you can do this by yourself. I'm really looking forward to seeing these neat pieces of work onto tapestry, and we can discuss them next week on the live sessions as well. Make sure your handwriting is as neat as possible. You're using a nice sharp pencil when you're writing. We're not using coloured pencils to do our writing. And remember, you can draw your picture and you can colour in your picture as well, that's fine. But just try to focus on your handwriting is nice and neat, and your spelling or using your sounds really carefully with those as well. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing you next week.